Amidst a lull in a battle between two warring factions, Mongolian Khan anxiously awaits news from his foot soldiers. A warrior steps in. The troops are ready, he says. And with a wave of his hand, the Khan orders the beginning of a raid and steps out to witness his soldiers march towards victory. You may think Messi Khan and his troops are warring in the plains of Mongolia. But they are not. Messi Khan is in fact in Indonesia, in a land on the westernmost tip of Java. A setting known for its beautiful sandy beaches and a shadowy figure that looms from far and above. This is Tanjung Lesung, the sunset of Java.
Come see the sunset, only on See Indonesia.
See Indonesia.
The sun is shining on another day in Pandeglang. With a population of 1.28 million people and an area of 2,700 square kilometers, this regency is the second biggest in Banten. Its economy is mostly made up of agriculture, forestry, and fisheries, with the three sectors making up more than a third of its regional gross domestic product. Knowing this, you may think that this region is not so rife with destinations for your next holiday. But that, as it turns out, just ain't so. Hidden just 2 hours away from the town of Pandeglang is Tanjung Lesung. Fresh from being renovated after the effects of a tsunami in 2018, this 4-star resort area is home to white sandy beaches, holiday homes and cottages with a view, and the Mongolian Culture Center. Built in the mid-2010s, this free entry tourist destination is the result of a collaboration between the provincial government of Banten alongside the Embassy of Mongolia. It is a place to learn of the culture of Mongolia and to get a taste of living the traditional Mongolian nomadic lifestyle. This morning, an emperor is seen strolling through his camp, basking in the sunlight that is the signature of any lands near the equator. The Emperor Messi Khan is a focused leader who enjoys spending his day training his mind and his body. Today, as he prepares for his invasion, he primes his mind with the use of interlocking Mongolian puzzles. These contraptions are used to train tribal members in their ability to assemble and disassemble homes, furnitures, and sheds, a product of their traditional nomadic lifestyle.
to challenge themselves, Mongolians like to time themselves in doing these puzzles. And so, editor, I want you to put a timer here, starting now. Ah, yes, the Emperor is undefeated.
With the Emperor Messi Khan completing his brain training, it was time for him to prepare for war. His weapon of choice? The traditional bow and arrow.
My enemies will cower, and the countries that seek to challenge the Mongolian Empire shall fall.
Confident that Messi Khan will defeat the enemy, he sends a warning to all of his challengers.
Beware, you who dare to challenge my authority. For you will face the might of the bow and arrow.
And with the morning over, and with Messi Khan feeling certain of victory, he leaves to begin his expedition into Tanjung Lesung.
See the beauty? Only on See Indonesia.
It is midday over the Lalasa Beach Club in Tanjung Lesung. Boats, canoes, jet skis, and snorkeling gear lie still awaiting to be rented, their fiberglass bodies glistening in the daylight. The sun is at its highest, causing the searing heat of noon in the tropics, with the wind being just enough to reprieve. Over the horizon lies the remains of the Krakatoa stratovolcano complex, the same volcano which caused the tsunami in 2018, looming with great presence. On the surface, the waves are calm, and just below, a coral reef city is busy, its residents hustling and bustling about their day. And Messi Khan, who is no longer an emperor, but simply a non-scientific science journalist, looks at these things and has a question.
Back in 1883, Krakatau erupted with the most massive of destructive effects. But how does it impact a coral reef? Well, to find out, we have come here just offshore from the Tanjung Lesung Hotel to see exactly the impact. So, I have my goggles and I have my flippers, and we are now about to jump in.
Now, this is far from a scientific show, so take my word with a grain of salt. But in my theory at least, after recovering from the initial destruction of a volcanic eruption, the remaining ash particles, which contain rich minerals, should create a breeding ground for a diverse set of bacteria to flourish, providing food for plankton to consume, which in turn provides food for bigger fauna to consume. Simply put, Boom Boom breeds germs, which becomes food for animals, which is what corals are. So, let's see if I'm right. And the short answer is, I have no idea. What I can say is that this seabed was home to one of the most visually diverse communities of coral reefs I have ever seen. The bright colors of fish contrasting against the soft-colored bioarchitecture. Sitting only 3 meters below the surface, the coral reef sprawled almost endlessly across all directions like a megacity that refused to stop growing. But does this mean that its growth was indeed helped by the volcanic activity in this region? It would be impossible to answer this question simply by looking at the reef. But perhaps my hypothesis may have had some merit. Because what this shows is that despite, or perhaps because of its close proximity to a volcano, this coral reef is absolutely teeming with life.
It's beautiful down there. Absolutely stunning. There's quite a wide variety of species, and that truly creates an abstract piece of art with the many colors filling the canvas of the ocean floor. It's a shame the water is a bit murky today, but I can imagine if it was a bit clearer, it'd be absolutely beautiful.
As the afternoon continued, the waters became calmer still, a condition which was too irresistible for anyone to simply return to land. And so I returned to the seas, only this time remaining above surface. The sound of the waves crashing gently against my paddleboard made for a peaceful scenario, and gave me a moment to behold upon the landscape of which I was presented. On one side, a scenic beachfront, and on the other, a resting giant. A resting giant which demanded my presence, but a presence that I was unable to provide given my method of transport. That is, until... Yes. And with 73 horsepower at my disposal, this would have been a formidable tool in making the journey to Krakatoa. Unfortunately, with the current price of gas, we only had enough to operate near the shores instead. This, however, opened another opportunity for fact-finding by the pseudoscience journalist Messi.
Now you might think we're just playing around, but we're actually doing some very important research. How good are the waves of Tanjung Lesung for a jet ski ride.
And after a thorough investigation using a highly reliable method, so there it is then. The calm seas in particular provided my own personal autobahn to fly at speed. And with this pocket rocket under my feet, I was a very happy boy indeed.
Awas depan.
Sadly, I overestimated my own capabilities, as the donuts were bringing back my own donuts from earlier. And with that, it was time to return to shore.
See the beauty? Only on See Indonesia.
The time is now nearing dusk, and the jet ski has been returned, providing an ample opportunity to rest and recuperate before dinner. Messi, now no longer an emperor nor a non-science science journalist, but simply a travel journalist, has removed his thinking cap and returned to the Tanjung Lesung resort. This resort has a multitude of stays, from small cottages for couples to slightly bigger ones for families and larger groups. The travel journalist, however, has decided to check in to a Kalisa villa, located in a neighborhood of holiday homes, all available for rent.
The master bedroom features this wonderful outdoor bathroom with a bathtub as well as a shower over there. Although right behind these walls are these streets leading to other villas as well. So if you're in the bathroom doing some wink wink, then they might be able to hear you from outside.
However, if you are not a fan of voyeurism,
Then fear not, because there's another bathroom in here, although I can imagine being in this master bedroom can be very romantic indeed, especially with this beautiful swan decoration that they very kindly provided to us. For those of you with children, there is a second bedroom featuring 2 twin beds and a smaller bed over here which can double as a reading nook with quite a beautiful view into the back garden. Quite a lot of lighting here as well with these windows and those windows over there. And if you're a family who likes to cook, or if you like to cook with your friends, as I like to do, there's a nice little kitchen here. Alternatively, if you don't like to cook, you can always order from the hotel. So, bases covered there.
I, however, had plenty of time to kill before my dinner, And so I stepped out into the back garden to enjoy the final moments of the sun basking all in its brightest glory. Finally, dusk at Tanjung Lesung. Silence fills the air, save for the sound of waves crashing onto the coral-filled beaches. An aroma is sensed. One of grilled fish, squid, and prawn on a plate decorated with colorful roses of tomatoes and brilliant daisies of lemon. A thirst is quenched by a refreshing orange juice, and the scenery, rays of orange light shining for the final time on this magnificent land before returning for another day. The sun finally sets on Java.
And so, as we watch the sun shine its final beams of the day on this magnificent island, we are accompanied by the sounds of crashing waves and, dare I say, some of the finest food in the area. And with the sunset comes the end of this episode. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.